put your mind to it, you can do anything. That was LLC. This is your boy T.Gold. I'm here with Just Cheeze. I appreciate everybody's patience because we here, we live at ABC, we getting it in, and I'm glad that man, I got some loyal listeners, man. I appreciate everybody's patience. We had a great time this weekend. I can't wait to talk about the events that took place. So I was extremely pleased about the turnout, everybody who came through, because we had a dope event, y'all. So y'all already know how we do. You know, we get the table always looking right. You know, we always gotta be representing some Web3 wavy shit out here on the table. So if you're watching us live on Instagram, or if you're watching us live on YouTube, thank you. You can see all of the visuals that we got here. You know what I mean? So it's your boy T Gold. This is episode number 85, kicking it live from ABC, all right? So on the table, as you can see, we got first, shout out to Greg Mike. You know, he had a 15-year anniversary event at ABV Gallery. So shout out to Greg Mike. You see, I got the water bottle here. You know what I mean? Then Cheese got the Clip shirt on today. I got the Clips box right here from the box set from the album that I got. You know what I mean? And you know, we gotta represent McDonald's with the McCafe. Them cups right there with the doodles. Shout out to Doodles. Then, big shout out to our guys at NFTia Energy Drinks. You know, they got the little Pudgies on there. You know, so Pudgies is one of the biggest NFT projects out there. Get you some Pengu. Speaking of Pengu, we got this other Pudgy Penguin down here. We got the vinyl, as you can see. You know what I mean? Got my guy down there. Got him already registered in the Pudgy world, so I'm happy about that. And I got my Singularity Sentient. Dope part about that, you know, shout out to my guy Van, man. He caught one of my Singularity Sentient NFT photos, so big up to that brother, man. Cheese.
Yo,
How you doing, brother?
I'm good.
You good? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, man. So, you know, like we always do, before we get into it, I like to ask my co-host, how was their weekend, man? How was your weekend, brother?
My weekend has been pretty packed out. Pretty just nonstop since Friday, really. Friday we had the bookstore gallery event, and then I just came back really too from the Caribbean.
That's right.
Which was a good time. Just being there, and also being there with my dad and my rest of my family that was there as well, and just learning about things, different perspectives that I haven't really seen for at least now 13 years.
Wow.
So the difference there, and now coming back here, just being more appreciative of what we have access to here, and how that really is different. So, and you know, you get accustomed to a certain grind here, and then you're kind of like displaced out of it for about a little bit more of a week. So then it feels so different. But I'm getting back into the motion of things. So I had a Friday event. We had a Friday event, which was great.
No doubt.
Then Saturday had two. I had like 3 events. Saturday helped Nia out with her reopening of her YG Cafe.
Shout out to Nia.
And it was dope to see how she had the kids in there. She's doing a lot with students, high school students and college students who intern at her cafe.
Oh, really? Okay, that's dope.
So I got to work with them there as well while I was there. Elijah pulled up. So Elijah and I were at the cafe.
E3, what up, E3?
And then Elijah and I went to check out Layla's show, because this weekend kicked off Atlanta Art Week.
Mm-hmm.
So we basically started this. The kickoff was Atlanta Art Fair at Pullman Yards.
Dope.
So we went over there. They pretty much basically cleared out the entire Pullman Yards and created like a museum. And they had work brought in from all over the country. So there were artists that, not necessarily Atlanta artists, but they're like world-renowned artists, had their pieces in there featured for a week, and then some Atlanta artists got to be featured alongside of that. This is the second year that they did it in Pullman Yards.
Dope.
So I was like, damn, we need to be up in here checking this out. Like, I had sent the text message out to the group to pull up, because after that, we Elijah and I went to the rest of, like, it was a whole, yesterday was a whole thing, like from morning with Nia, then at the Atlanta Art Fair, then after that Elijah and I went to Goat Farm. I don't know if any of you guys ever been to Goat Farm.
Nah,
It's
what's
like
Goat
a whole like a whole I don't know what it was originally, but they basically putting up apartments over there, but then they have this whole like outdoor space where it's like a big festival yard. And they had like different spaces that were dedicated to different artists. There was an artist, his name was Artemis Jenkins, and he was actually one of two artists that. So I learned a lot from this guy because he is an ambassador, Atlanta ambassador to Nigeria.
Oh wow!
And what that means is that in the 1970s, a group of artists came to Atlanta from Nigeria, and they formed a partnership with Atlanta, and that partnership was more of like a tribute where they sent two artists over here to learn, but we have never actually sent any artists over there in the 50 years of the partnership.
Stop playing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that all changed in the 50 years since that partnership was started. We haven't sent any artists over there.
Wow.
So that changed with him and actually the founder of the photography program at Spelman. So him and her were the first two artists to be sent over to Nigeria for a residency in I forgot what year he went, but basically they were over there for 6 months, and then he made a lot of footage while he was out there, and he practiced the different arts over there, and he brought that back and created an experience at Goat Farm out of that, and it was a lot of live music, art on the walls, and it was like Elijah and I we were there for like 6 hours. We were going back and forth between like getting drinks, coming back in there.
Y'all was turned up.
Yeah, we were turned up. Yeah, so overall it was cool to be a part of that and have some scholar activations in there. And
you had some scholar activations there at the Goat Farm? Dope. Okay, that's lit.
Yeah. And this like summary, since I've landed, it's been a run, and now I'm here kicking it with on the TCK. I'm glad to be back here. So overall, it's been a great weekend. I mean, how about you?
Man, it was lit. Man. Well, Friday, I definitely want to shout out everybody who pulled up. Shout out to Easy Money Esquire in the building. He came through. You know what I'm saying? NFTia, she came through. You know what I'm saying? My guy Aunt Mathis, so I was happy about that. It was a lot of good vibes in the building, man. Nia, she came through with the crystal pyramid that she was ringing off that was able to get people, in a good vibe and a good frequency, So that was dope. Then she brought out the tuning forks. So she was able to just get people grounded, man, and I was so happy about that because, that's like the second time we incorporated, real wellness into our events, So that was dope. That set the tone. Well, actually, that was after I had did my session, man. I did my session on Web3 and gaming, you know what I'm saying? So I talked about the NFL, NBA, I talked about soccer, how they involved in it. Big up to Avalanche getting those tokenized tickets for the World Cup, because that's major, man. So, inshallah, we'll have something cooked up with them, for the World Cup coming out here in Atlanta next year. And I talked about these devices, man. I talked about, we got the Play Solana device coming, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very, very excited because that's going to be shipped out this week.
Oh, word?
Yeah, the first week of October, I believe it was October 3rd, they're going to be shipping out these Play Solana devices. So next time we have our event, I'm going to bring, well, me and
Hopefully.
Chi should have, our devices that we going to bring up there, So I got the Pudgy Penguins. Shout out to Pudgy Penguins. You see the inflatable behind us. But I got the Pudgy Penguins Solana Play device that's coming, so I'm looking forward to that. And man, we talked about the Seeker phone, the Saga phones, where you get these airdrops, just for having these phones, man, these devices. And we talked about the Sui handheld gaming device that they're gonna be dropping. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be another way people can just earn crypto just by gaming and just by having these devices, because all of these games that's coming built into these devices, essentially every in-game asset will be an NFT. So that's gonna be dope, man. And then we talked about Kalshi and Poly Market. You know what I mean? So Kalshi, they locked in with Robinhood, so people can do prediction betting on Robinhood. And on top of that, Poly Market, they got a partnership with Solana and Base. So I just know that, man. On top of that, Poly Market is built on Polygon. So, I was just giving the people, the information on how they can just take advantage of something that they already might be doing in this real world, whether you might be on prize picks betting. You know what I mean? You might want to switch over to Kalshi and Poly Market. You know what I'm saying? Because, crypto, man, they crypto friendly, man. So you can be Web3 wavy in this space. So, and on top of that, man, shout out to Kyle. Shout out to Justin, shout out to the crew, everybody out there at the bookstore gallery, man, who came through, man. And they held it down because that's their facility. So we thank them for allowing us to throw an event there. So that was our 4th event, you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy about that, man. We had more people coming in too, different people, just regular people just walking in there I never seen before, so it was good. And they just came in the network, so I was happy about that. And yeah, man, people was able to play Madden afterwards. So, it was a dope vibe. We had the cards, the poker, and the spades and all that. I was networking and talking to a lot of people, so I couldn't really get the card games ready, but I had them on the side so people could play, but everybody was in conversation and playing Madden, so we kept it still, dope and wavy. I'm DJing at the same time, so you know how I do, man. I be multitasking, you know what I'm saying? I had the video popping, the audio popping. Yeah, man. So it was a dope event. Then yesterday, like I said, Greg Mike, man, he had another dope event. That's why there was so many people there, for the art show, because he had a 15-year anniversary, so that shit was lit. Shit was always lit. So, and he be DJing his own parties.
Did you go there?
Yeah, so that shit was lit.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So they had live muralists paint the side of the walls. He had repainted over, because he had some other murals on the side of the wall. Mm-hmm. So he had kept it blank. So when the artists came, they can just fresh canvas on the wall. So it was live murals being painted.
So that's good to know that. That's good to know that the art scene in the city is kicking off strong this weekend, because I went to our Atlanta Art Fair and then Goat Farm, and you were at Greg Mike's event. So, and I know there's some more stuff coming up this week with Atlanta Art Week that Layla was telling me about. So, definitely, like, I think I was just, as I was going there through it yesterday, I was like, this is definitely a community we want to engage with as we're expanding. Like, we can definitely start doing more stuff with the art community. That would be great.
Yeah, man, we definitely got to link in with Atlanta's art community. I've been a part of an art show, a couple months ago, and again, I sold my first piece Friday at the bookstore gallery, man. So I was happy about that, because I stayed bringing my art up there, and I got some art already just placed up there along with a lot of other dope artists, man. They got some dope shit out there, man. So I was happy about that, man. So overall, it was a dope weekend. I was able to get some rest because Friday was crazy. It was a rat race we was running, and just Sunday, is today. Had to gear up, had to get right, had to make sure everything was in order. And we here, man. So we ready to set it off, man. Cheese, ready to set it off. Talk about what's going on in this crypto space, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Check this out, man. So, man, I thought some of the things that happened this past few days since I've been reporting, because every Thursdays I'm at ABC giving a news recap. So, but some things that happened over the past few days has been very, very exciting. You know what I mean? So let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. We've been talking about crypto companies going public. You know what I'm saying? Getting listed on NASDAQ. This company right here is one of the biggest crypto exchanges, Kraken. All right. So Kraken, they have raised $500 million, $500 million at a $15 billion valuation, setting the stage for its long anticipated IPO in 2026, according to Fortune. The round, which had no lead investors, drew support from investment firms like venture capitalists and Kraken CEO through his tribal capital. All right, so he has his own company that he actually contributed to this round. And previously, Kraken raised about $27 million, but they ended up raking up $411 million. All right, so that first $27 million was in the first quarter. So, man, they raked in another $411 million. All I know is this: when this goes public, this one is probably gonna go crazy too, because Bullish went crazy, Circle went crazy when they went public. They've been raising a lot of money over here because Kraken, they pretty legit. They haven't been involved in any controversies, since I've been reporting in this space over 4 years. So they've been doing pretty solid in here, man. So I just know that when they go public, companies like this, and also Tether is looking to get listed on NASDAQ as well. Mm-hmm. All right, so they raising some funds, and they got a crazy valuation. I think Tether's valuation was I'm gonna do some research, but I know it was more than Kraken. I think it was over like $20 billion valuation. They coming out the gate smoking. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy, But Tether, they one of the biggest stablecoin producers, USDT. All right, so they've been controversial with our government in our country, mainly because there's no KYC with Tether. You don't need to KYC with Tether. So that's the problem. If you're using USDC, they 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to do a KYC, know your customer, give up some of your data, so you can make these crypto transactions and the IRS can get their bread. So that's why they're doing it. So, Cheese, and my listeners, man, what's your thoughts on Kraken and Tether going public? All right, so Tether, they haven't announced their time of going public, but Kraken, 2026. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's par for the course with this and how they see other companies moving. But to speak to Kraken specifically, they got a lot of other things that's moving outside of crypto.
Salud.
Sorry. Like 2 things specifically. They haven't really been marketing their Crack app that much, but they have the Crack app, which is gonna compete with
like the Venmos
and the Cash apps. And then they have partnership with Solana for stocks, tokenized stocks. So, and then they have like partnerships with Formula One and other things. So, in terms of like the foundation is there for Kraken to be supported by all the partnership types that they have. Like they have very much their feet is in the same waters as a lot of other competitors in the space.
That's right.
So it's not surprising that they are going to do this, and I agree. I feel like it will be a good one. and we'll continue to see how Kraken stacks up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good points, Cheese. Good points, man. So we know these exchanges, man, the partnerships that they creating, that's definitely gonna give them more credibility. So just know once companies like this go public, you're gonna see more partnerships. Kraken got this partnership with Solana, but I can imagine there's gonna be other partnerships down the line that are not even Web3. Just for credibility purposes. So with that being said, we're gonna talk about Swift, all right? Because we mention Swift a lot around here. Those that don't know Swift, you don't know what it is, you're not familiar with it. Swift is the international messaging system that these banks use. All of these major financial institutions across the globe, this is how they communicate. All right. So there's something called ISO 222, which is their standard of cryptocurrencies, specific blockchains that they're going to be using, as rails to communicate on chain. All right, so sending all of this data from these banks, they're going to be using the Hederas, they're going to be using ADA, they're going to be using Ripple, they're going to be using Stellar. Cheese, what's some of the other ones? Because there's about 7 of them, right? It's IOTA is another one, XDC. So they're going to be using these blockchains, for rails, right? Now, I think this is interesting. Swift, the global financial messaging network with over 11,500 institutions, is testing an on-chain migration of its system using Ethereum Layer 2 network Linea, a privacy-focused ZK EVM built by Consensus. All right, Consensus is the company behind MetaMask. They the company behind CoinDesk, which is a big Web3 news publication. All right. So it's funny that they're using a private chain. And it makes sense because they don't want their transactions to be seen, because that's how traders, they make bread off of arbitrage. Any little way that they can see a come up from one platform to the next and they see what the whales are doing, they capitalize on that. So it's not too strange to see this company, well, excuse me, Swift, using Linea, right? That's a private chain, all right? So there's more than a dozen banks, including BNY Mellon, that are participating in the project, all right? So it's expected to take months, and it marks a major step towards bringing international banking systems onto the blockchain infrastructure, okay? So because they are just doing this behind the scenes, we know that Linea, and I talked about this too, MetaMask was supposed to be launching a token specifically for their wallet. People were speculating. That was the rumor. So like a Mask token or a Fox token or whatever, right? They decided to go with a Linea token. All right, so they haven't launched it yet. But when they do launch this Linea token, and now that I know that the Swift messaging system that these banks are using is going to be building and using Linea as a test grounds, I'm just tell you like this. Once that token gets launched, that Linea token, I'm definitely going to get my hands on some of that. Anything that the major banks are playing with, pause. Any blockchain that the major banks are looking at, I'm looking at too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, hey, trying to swim with the whales, man. So, Cheese, what's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts? And actually, too, we got NFTia. Oh, for those that don't know, who watching us on YouTube and Instagram, NFTia, she's on mom duties this week, all right? So we got to give NFTia a big shout out, and we're going to invite her to speak. We're going to bring her up on stage as an actual co-host. So I'm going to send her up to the stage so we can hear her thoughts as well, too, because Big shout out to NFTia. She came through. She's out there building docu-hero. I had my shirt and the outfit ready, you know, throw on today, man. When she told me she wasn't showing up, I was like, man, all right. So I'm gonna pull it up next time, man. But we got NFT up on the stage, and whenever she has the opportunity, I want her to say a couple of things on this. But Cheese, Tia,
Hey, can y'all hear me?
yes,
Yeah.
ma'am, yes, ma'am. We just talking about Swift, man, and how they building on Linea. They're using Linea as a test grounds or as a privacy chain built on Ethereum. So I just want to hear your thoughts on that, or if you want to discuss anything else, just want to give you a shout out and tell the people that we miss you and you on mom duties. You holding it down.
Yeah, no, I saw. That's why I was missing the topic that you guys were on. I'm chasing this dude around, but about to take my laptop outside so I can watch him play on this little play set, so I could, balance the two.
That's right. That's
But
right.
we multitask around here.
That's right.
But no, in terms of like linear, so in terms of like just the whole Swift system, and first of all, the fact that Swift would, it's like that's like what I'm doing with DocuHero. It's bringing an analog system into the 21st century a little bit,
That's
and
right.
then to add that privacy layer to it is huge. So I think it's a big move. And Swift, they have to do something right now because they're so far behind the curve in terms of adoption. And really, they seen it coming. Like one of the biggest use cases that I heard about when Bitcoin came out was the narrative was the Swift blockchain. It was the Swift banking system and how blockchain immediately solves that issue with those delayed payment rails and stuff like that. So for them to come back swinging with privacy, they had to shake it up a little bit in order to stay relevant. So it's a good move for Swiss. I don't know. They have a lot of the mind share in terms of like the banking system, but in terms of like, are they Blockbuster trying to create a streaming application a little too late type of deal, or are they right on time? That's to be seen.
Good point. Good point. And I believe it's November the 15th when they officially, because I think FedNow was using them. FedNow started using blockchain. They went on chain, and I forgot which chain they were using, but FedNow was using a chain right now. But I believe the Swift, they're going to integrate it, and it'll be active. I think it's November the 15th or something like that. Cheese, if you get a chance, could you check that on ChatGPT? But yeah, we know that they've been having their eyes on this space for a minute. So just know that we're gonna monitor that. We're gonna see what they're gonna do. We're gonna see if there's any other change that they're gonna deal with, or any factors of tokenization that they might end up doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to seeing what Swift and all of these banks are gonna be doing.
So right now, FedNow does not use a blockchain at the moment.
Okay.
We haven't switched over yet.
They haven't switched over yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as far as Swift, we got a date on when they're going to be actually rolling out blockchain rails for payments. So we doing real time, y'all. We doing real time fact checking. We checking Chat GPT right now. So you already know, man.
Extended to, yeah.
When?
One second. It's
I do have a quick comment though.
Go ahead,
another
Tia.
one. I wonder what made them choose linear out of all the other chains. Is it because the other ones? I'm Swift, to me, I like Lightning. I like, I like some even some different L2s on Ethereum or Bitcoin. I want to go with what's proven. I know linear. Correct me if I'm wrong. They are EVM.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I wrong? Yeah, they're EVM, but they don't have a lot of They don't. They're not one of the more well known chains. So I wonder what went behind that decision making is all, and we may never know. But I'm curious to know
That's a
what went
good.
behind that decision maker.
That's a good question.
The
Now,
thing is,
now, right quick, I do. My thoughts on that was everything that was listed in ISO 222, all of those chains,
yeah,
none of them were Ethereum layer twos.
which is where my points were going to be. Um, that's why I find this odd of a test. Now, maybe because it's a test, it's okay, but none of these tokens that are ISO 222 are EVM focused. I mean, sorry, yeah, they're not really. That most of them are not EVM focused. Like, not now are they compatible with Ethereum? Yes, but they're not. That's not their main focus,
That's right.
right? And then on top of that, um, they could have tested this on a subnet of those tokens that are on the list,
That's a good point.
right? But I think just there's a like part of me feels like this is all connected to a lot of decisions that were made in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and if you know that there's a lot of companies like there's a lot of enterprise companies that are helping the banks be a part of this
Mm-hmm.
transition, and this was established back when that if you go and look at that like roadmap with all those logos on there,
Mm-hmm.
you see a bunch of companies on there. One company you see on there too is Consensus.
That's right.
That Consensus as a company has been involved with this transition forever. Now their assets weren't in play at that time, right? Their technology, except outside of MetaMask,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really in play at that time. But Consensus, the company, has always been in bed with the enterprise companies that was going to help
Mm-hmm.
make this transition, right? So the interesting thing about that is now it's like yes, they're picking Linear because of its consensus
Mm.
and it's ZK friendly, so that helps the privacy concern.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do find it weird outside of that because like at the end of the day, if it's gonna end up on one of those other chains, right, that are more ISO
Mm-hmm.
222 focused, then why are they testing it on Linear?
Yeah, man. It's a great point. It's a great point. So we will continue to monitor the situation and we will keep y'all updated on what's going on with Swift and all of these ISO 222 compatible blockchains, man, that they're going to be using and building on, man. So, but yeah, man, I appreciate NFTia's commentary, you know what I mean? Shout out to her on mom duties holding it down. You know what I mean? So, speaking of banks, let's talk about asset management firm, Vanguard. Now, Vanguard is the second largest asset management firm with $10 trillion under management. Guess what they doing? They're now getting into crypto ETFs. I think that's so dope because guess what? They were like, nah, we're not touching that stuff. Our clients ain't asking for it. Well, guess what? Their clients have been asking for it. And because they got $10 trillion of assets under management. I'm curious to see which crypto ETFs they're gonna jump on. Most likely, it's probably gonna be Bitcoin and Ethereum, those ETFs, because they have been performing fantastic. But we know that there's some more crypto ETFs on the horizon. You know, we just had the first XRP and Doge ETF that was launched last week by Rex Osprey on the CBOE exchange, right? And that's live. So we got 4 crypto ETFs that's available right now. So who knows how diverse they will be? Will they just be very conservative with just Bitcoin? I was just happy that they finally into this space because they got $10 trillion of money, well, assets under management. So even if they took 1% or 2% of what they sitting on, that's a lot of money that would flood into crypto. And now, just to put things in perspective, there's only about what's the market cap of the crypto market? It's like 3.6
Probably near 4
trillion.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it real time. Let's jump on Coin Market Cap right quick, and you know we love to get real time data, you know, but I just want y'all to understand how important it will be for the space if they actually start offering more crypto ETFs outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and how much money that would actually flood into this space, man. So what's the market cap?
3.82
3.82
trillion.
trillion dollars. That's how much the whole crypto industry is worth, and Bitcoin makes up more than half of that, right? Bitcoin is at like what, 2.2 trillion or something. We getting real time data, y'all. We live on Instagram, we live on YouTube. Appreciate everybody tapped in listening, you know. So yeah, man, we giving y'all real time data on this, man. So Bitcoin makes up about, let's see,
2.2, yeah.
$2.2 trillion. Okay, so yeah, man. Now I remember the CEO; he was just totally not on board with crypto, but obviously, you know, the pressure's on him, and especially now that we got the Genius Act passed, stable coin, you know, that gives just some comfortability for all of these investors, man. So, Cheeze, what's your thoughts on Vanguard, the second largest asset management firm, getting into crypto ETFs?
I mean, it's go time.
That's right.
Vanguard is like very conservative, with their decision making, and actually, yeah. That's my. I mean, it's Vanguard. Like, if Vanguard is getting in, and a lot, basically, Vanguard, like, Vanguard supplies most of the employment, like stock options.
Really?
When companies like like in 401ks. When companies like they default, like when you issue your 401k, and then they set you up with your 401k.
That's right.
Most of the default stocks that they put in your 401k are Vanguard. The Vanguard stocks. So it's like the people who have these corporate jobs, they're getting Vanguard issued Vanguard issued stocks, right, into their 401ks, and they're said to be the safest things to invest with.
Yep.
So, and like you said, Vanguard has been against this for years because of their conservativeness around the decision making. So if they felt like now is a good time to play into it, then yeah, like I said, it's interestingly like again, there's more proof that crypto is here to stay.
That's right, man. We ain't going nowhere, man. We not going nowhere. And we got a request. We gonna throw Cash Vegas. Cash, big up the Cash, man. Yo, go to the Crypto Crew IG. You can see some of the reels that I've been posting, and some of the latest reels has been Cash and Blue talking about Blue Water, talking about how she got lit on Clubhouse, and now we got her up on stage. Cash, how you doing? How you feeling? We miss you, girl. She out there in Hawaii, y'all. We got people tapping in all the way from Hawaii. The floor is yours. How you doing, Queen?
Thank you. I'm doing great. I miss you guys too.
Oh,
I wanted to hop in on this beautiful conversation and all the knowledge shared, and chime in a bit about Vanguard as well. So it's kind of interesting. Like, there's a couple of things you always want to watch with institutional money, which is watching their wallets more than the media or what they tend to say. So although Vanguard has not publicly been for any type of spot Bitcoin ETFs, they're not offering any third-party crypto products or things like that, but they are the largest institutional shareholder of MicroStrategy,
oh wow.
now rebranded to Strategy, which is widely known for holding large amounts of Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
They own like hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin strategy. So it's, when you start to look at some of these companies, I highly advise to do like visual mapping, and you can start to draw lines and find the consolidation of the company that owns the company that owns the company. And so even if the top umbrella says I'm not involved in Bitcoin, but one tier below, the big company that they own does own thousands of Bitcoin, thousands of different cryptos, or heavy in, Ethereum or certain ETFs, it's almost like they're talking out the side of their mouths. So just visually map out some of these companies, especially like banks, map out who owns what, and you'll just clearly see the patterns. So I kind of wanted to double tap on Vanguard and some of their conservative moves on the outside, but when you look deeper, they're owning companies that own Bitcoin. So that's what I wanted to chime in on.
Yo, that was a great point, Cass. Great point, man. Because it's almost like pay attention to what they do and not what they say. Same thing with like J.P. Morgan, Jamie Dimon. Yeah, he don't like Bitcoin, but he loves blockchain, and they do a lot behind the scenes. They're not real big advocates, same way like Michael Saylors are. But to Cass's point, man, behind the scenes they have indirect exposure. So I thought that was a great comment. That was a great comment. And same thing with BlackRock. Larry Fink. At first he was against it. But he slowly came around. So I love to see these major financial institutions come in and really just get they feet wet in this space, man. We need that institutional money so Bitcoin can hit that, over 200K this cycle, man. So let's go. But nah, Cass, I appreciate that comment. That was a great point. Man. So definitely pay attention to what they do and not what they say. All right. Now, all right. So yeah, man, let's talk about. I thought this is another great story. Let's talk about Google. All right. So Google, they're partnering up with a crypto mining company called TeraWulf. All right. So TeraWulf is a U.S.-based crypto mining and digital infrastructure firm. They are preparing to raise about $3 billion through Morgan Stanley to expand its data centers, with Google backing $1.4 billion of the plan to improve its credit appeal. I was talking about that earlier. The fundraising, which could launch as early as October via high-yield bonds or leveraged loans, come amid soaring demand for data centers, chips, and stable power to support AI growth. Google already holds a 14% stake in TerraWolf after supporting a 3.7 billion 10-year deal with AI provider FluidStack announced in August. Okay, so not only that, Google, they have their own chain. All right, it's private. You know, they're working on their own chain right now, which is crazy. So Google, they have a 14% stake in TerraWolf, so they're into mining Bitcoin, and also they run several nodes for some of the largest chains. I believe Avalanche, Solana. There's a few other ones that they are actually, running nodes for. So to see what Google is doing and all these data centers popping up, man, this is phenomenal, man. And we looking for the Microsofts and the Apples to get into the space. NFTia, you got your hand up. What's your thoughts on this?
No, I just really wanted to just say, so TerraWolf, I like Google's play on the TerraWolf play. I think we talked about TerraWolf when they purchased. I didn't know it was 10% down. I know it was 8% when we spoke about it. So they're slowly increasing their shares on TerraWolf, which is something to look out for.
That's right.
TerraWolf, when I first started paying attention to it, I think we looked it up that day. TerraWolf, their stock actually dates back to the 90s. I don't know if everyone knows that. And so it's been trading sideways for quite some time. And it almost looks like a OG crypto price chart in the sense that it has these highs and these extreme lows, and it's been up to $50 and it's been down to 50 cents.
Damn.
Seriously. It's crazy. It looks definitely like a OG crypto project in terms of its long-term price chart. But it's on the rise right now, and I'm imagining it's because Google is investing heavily into their infrastructure, because they are one of the oldest chip companies out there on the market, and so they must know a lot more than they're a lot more experienced than a lot of the newbies.
That's
and
right.
For Google, it's in my opinion, for Google, that's a no-brainer. The price of the stock is low. We can get a lot of share. They already have a lot of experience, and they know what they're doing.
That's right.
And it's almost like giving them a shot. The last thing I wanted to say is, in terms of Google, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be saying this. So I was at the Google for startup. I was at the Google for startup.
This alpha. Just let the people know it's some alpha.
Last week, and most of the startups there, I believe, were Web2. Just to put it frank.
Okay. Okay.
And so as we were in our breakouts and just kind of mixing and mingling and networking and stuff, I'm standing at the restroom, and one of the ladies came up and she asked me, what do I do? And we started having small conversation. And she was asking me, sorry, that's my son. He gonna knock around, and we outside, and he's still knocking around. Hey. And she was asking me, what do I do and all this stuff. And I was telling her blockchain, and her eyes lit up. She was like, "Oh, you definitely want to put that on your application for Google Startup." She's like, and so they're and essentially what she was saying, longer story short, is that they're heavily incentivizing blockchain project startups to take Google startup route a lot more seriously. So Google definitely is playing for keeps right now, and doing it in stealth and doing it very smart. But they're doing it without a doubt.
Good point to you. Good point. So yeah, good luck with that too, man. Google startups, we actually should all tap into Google startups, see what they can offer, for us, because we got a lot to offer bringing Web3 builders, to Google's platform, man. It's so much they can do. And plus, they got everybody's data. You know what I'm saying? So, in Cas Vegas, you got your hand up. The floor is yours, baby.
No, they definitely have everyone's data. I think that's always something to think about when you're thinking about AI and kind of the AI wars that are about to happen. But to double tap on what Tia was saying, I kind of just wanted to offer kind of a thought of encouragement with all the stats that are being mentioned in Great Alpha is that this is why you need to invest in yourself in being a builder and having the picks and shovels, because people are going to come around and see the value later and you have the infrastructure. So TerraWolf, that's technically not profitable yet, now comes and has this big deal with Google because they're valuable.
That's
so
right.
they may not be profitable, but they are valuable,
That's
and you
right.
can change that number to profitable. And the only reason why they're not profitable is because they're actually making quite a bit of revenue, but they're also spending it back on building.
That's right.
And so that's going to even out at some point and then become a net gain. So just something to think about when you hear all the alpha everyone's sharing is like, how can you be a part of the building side? Because the people are coming, the institutions are coming, and you want to be ready with your product, and you want to be selling the picks and axes during this digital gold rush. So yeah, don't be afraid to build something, even if you're not profitable right away. Just be future proofed about your value. Be able to shift and understand like what's happening in the space and be ahead of the curve and offer that value, because it's going to come knocking. So more words of encouragement, because I think this is a great conversation for folks to tap into.
Great point, Cass. Great point, man. That's what we do here at ABC, man. I'm fortunate enough to be part of cohort 7. So shout out to cohort 3, 6, 7. You know what I mean? Because that's my team right there. You know what I'm saying? Joe is part of cohort 3. Tia,
numbers that matter.
you know what I'm saying? Tia is cohort 6. I'm cohort 7. So we all builders, man. So I encourage everybody, like Cass said, to build, man. We gotta have these picks and shovels, man, and the Levi's, man, for these people, for this digital gold rush that's coming. So Cheese, man, what's your thoughts on that? I appreciate that, Cass. That was a good point.
I'm just going to take a contrarian perspective just for fun, and but I fundamentally agree with everything people say. But I just want to throw a little bit of
Let's keep it spicy.
conspiracy theory
Yeah,
in
let's
there.
keep it a little
Just
spicy.
things to be concerned about. Like,
No doubt.
think about this though. Like, fundamentally, it's great that Google is, like they have, they're in AI heavily. So these data data centers are on target for them to be able to do that side of things as well. But then if we consider that like you said, a large amount of blockchain companies, and they're getting into they're going to have their own blockchain as well, right? And a large amount of blockchain RCP endpoints, right? Basically, a lot of the blockchains are basically being hosted on GCP and well as
Amazon.
AWS, right? So, what's to say in the future that Google doesn't start fucking up the this, like, what if they start messing up all the blockchain nodes that that we're running on top of, and they start slowing down. You know how Apple makes your phone slow down when they want you to move over to the latest one, right? So what if they start pushing us over to their blockchain, right? And all this, everybody gets hosting their stuff on, all AVAX, but AVAX is running on GCP, and now they're pushing us all over to their blockchain.
Good point.
So that's a little bit conspiracy theory there.
Don't do it. That's what I say. Don't do it. Understand where your storage is. But you're right. It's a possibility. But I think conversations like this offer knowledge to the general population and whoever is listening to be really conscious about, again, those visual maps. When you draw it out and see who owns what, are we really staying decentralized when we're just using AWS? So those visual maps help. Don't do it. That's what I say.
Hey.
So I hear y'all, and that was one of the things, even with me building DocuHero. Um, However, I think it's good for certain cases, such as a DocuHero type of case, where you're able to access a lot of their data, and then you already. I mean, obviously, they've already seen pretty much everything under the sun. They've seen you butt ass naked, quiet as kept. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They've seen.
That's
You
a
know what I'm saying?
fact.
They know everything. You know.
That's a fact. They got
They know what
photos,
you want to eat.
videos, everything. Hell yeah, you
Yeah, they
right.
know what you want to eat before you want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, but what I'm saying is, with something like a DocuHero, where you're going after healthcare companies, and when you have to have that trusted layer, where a lot of them they may not trust. It's not so much about money or decentralization. It's about the actual time stamping and having a trust layer.
That's
And
right.
sometimes perception is all the trust that you need. So if I say, hey, I want to build this on linear, and they'll be like, what the fuck? You know, like,
Mm-hmm.
who the hell is that? You about to put my medical records on.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I say, I'm about to put I'm not going to store your records, but I'm going to store the action of your records on Google. I think there's a bigger trust factor. So I think it's different different votes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? So.
Good point. Good point. Good point. Well, I like the fact that we got a positive use case and the negative aspects. That's the beauty of this podcast. We get diverse thoughts. And great perspectives. I appreciate everybody's thoughts on this. Appreciate that, ladies. And we got a new speaker up on stage. We got our girl Blue. Blue, what's going on? How you doing? Welcome to the TCK podcast, episode number 85.
Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I jumped up to jump on Joe's point. But Tia definitely had a point. There's use cases for how to use some of these institutions to get to where you need to go until you can reach the point where you can be decentralized, right? And so for those who are trying to be decentralized, one, it makes sense to understand what's decentralized and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can pick, like when you go to somewhere, there's a buffet, and you can pick from the buffet. But if you're trying to be decentralized, I would suggest looking at Project Pi.
Hey.
That could be your node, and you won't be attached to AWS. Then you got Blue Water,
Hey.
and then you got Skylark
That's
to
right.
collect your data. I think DAPHub, trying to provide an easy way to safely serve the blockchain,
That's
if that
right.
makes sense.
That's right.
But there is going to be centralized living.
Mm-hmm.
We can't stop that. So not being, just knowing what you're dealing with, blockchain is going to turn into like a Google, and Google has their DEX, and they'll have access to all these different companies, because it's just like how everybody needs to feed the AI.
Mm-hmm.
It's a machine,
Right.
and so it's like a little baby, and they got to keep feeding it until it grows up, right? But it needs more data and more food. So
Good point. Good point.
yeah, to those 2 points, it's just like, know what you're doing when you're centralized,
Mm-hmm.
and then understand how to be decentralized and what those options are and how to do that.
Blue, those were some great points so people know what they're dealing with in this space. Now, we know the ethos of crypto and blockchain is decentralization. Most people, I looked at a graph. Don't you know it's like less than 4% of the globe actually owns Bitcoin, and they saying roughly about 10% of Americans own Bitcoin. I don't even think it's that much. Most people ain't gonna care about being decentralized because their whole life has been centralized. They don't even understand that concept. That's a new word to a lot of people, and because we've been in this space for a while, we understand what that word means and the freedom behind that. So for builders, I'm glad that you shouted out all of the builders at ABC. I'm glad that you gave people, you made them aware of the options being centralized and decentralized, and there's drawbacks and pros with both. As you know, it's pros and cons with both. But like she said, just be very knowledgeable of what you are building in this space. So, man, I thank all the ladies for their great commentary today, man. That was phenomenal. I love women in Web3, man. This is a beautiful thing, man. They bring so much different perspectives that we need, man. But thank y'all. So we got a couple more stories we're gonna roll right into, and towards the end of this, we like to talk about more, degen shit and more controversial things. You know what I mean? Sometimes we go down rabbit holes. So let's talk about Mr. Beast. Anybody familiar with Mr. Beast? Y'all friends? Y'all followers? Y'all fans of Mr. Beast? I like Mr. Beast, man. He did something that I thought a lot of people in our culture would do. He went back to Africa and was opening up hundreds of wells so people can get fresh running water in Africa. Like, this man, like, think about this. He beat all of our favorite celebrities to Africa to just provide basic essentials, just like running water. So I give Mr. Beast props, man. But this next story, I thought it was interesting because, I saw his coin, doing some numbers on Deck Screener. I was like, okay, somebody made a coin a long time ago, like 10 months ago or whatever, and I saw his shit started trending again. But here's why. All right. YouTuber Mr. Beast, his real name is Jimmy Donaldson. Jimmy Donaldson has invested nearly $1 million into Aster, the native token of decentralized derivative exchange Aster, after previously losing 20K on going long on it. All right. So blockchain data shows he bought over 538,000 Aster tokens at about $1.87 each, though the token has since dropped 12% to about $1.79. Mr. Beast has been accused of hyping early stage tokens and profiting big, reportedly over 23 million from projects like Superverse, while retail investors suffered heavy losses. That's bad. That's bad. Mr. Beast, let me find out you've been part of some rug pulls, buddy. All right. So his past ties to questionable projects and deleted posts have fueled skepticism, while some critics call it he's trying to exploit this space. You know what I'm saying? So meanwhile, Aster itself has seen explosive growth, hitting 24.7 billion in daily trading value. That's crazy, passing Hyperliquid. All right, so just know that this particular platform, Aster, went stupid over the past couple of weeks. I think Aster went up over 2,000%, and CZ is rumored to own a large amount of this token. There's a large amount of the tokens allocated. It's rumored that he has most of it, like 90%. But this token been going crazy. And there's another token tied to that that's been going crazy too. Now, this is a gem for y'all, not financial advice. Do your own research, do your homework. This is for education and entertainment purposes. But APX, that is a token that's actually tied to Aster. And that's also floating around the same price, around $2, a little under $2, but yeah, it also went up about like 15,000%. So these are some of the tokens that you might just want to put on your radar, because this is what Binance is doing. All right, so this is a derivatives exchange. It's a decentralized derivatives exchange, and they've been kicking Hyperliquid's ass. And if you've been following, Hyperliquid over the past year, Hyperliquid has been going stupid too. Okay, so gotta ask my guests, what's your thoughts on Aster, this token, and Mr. Beast buying $1 million of this token, you know, because he's, like I said, he's been controversial in the past with, you know, certain projects. So what's your thoughts, Cheese?
So I haven't heard much about Aster. I was out in the Caribbean, and I've been getting back into it, and I heard like noise here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one of the biggest things that, like you said, it's definitely a competitor to Hyperliquid.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's been some of the biggest noise, and the fact that it's on Binance and CZ has only CZ doesn't show things often.
Nah.
And he tweeted about this, right? So it's just interesting. So, like you said, I would just keep an eye on it, but this is not financial advice. But yeah.
What do you think about Mr. Beast though? Getting into this, making a play on this.
That wasn't necessarily on my radar of concern. Because I think the bigger news was it being mentioned by CZ.
Good point.
In terms of people actually like if had it not been mentioned by CZ, it had just been mentioned by Mr. Beast, I don't think it would have caught much attention.
Good point.
As it has now. So just something to look out for, and for anything at least, you see how Hyperliquid is doing, so it could rival it. But yeah.
Yeah, man. That's a good point. That's a great point, Cheese. Just know that we are cooking, man. We are cooking at ABC because we don't really follow celebrities when they make these plays. All right? We be so busy cooking up our own plays. We've been watching this space for a while to know that just because a celebrity endorses a token or an influencer talks about a token, yeah, it might run up for a little bit, but 9 times out of 10 it's going to get rug pulled because there's usually somebody outside of that celebrity's camp that approaches them to launch a token and say, hey, you can make X amount of dollars, because Kanye exposed the play. You know what I'm saying? Because Kanye was like, oh yeah, there's this guy such and such. I forgot his name actually because I talked about this guy's name. But he was approached. Kanye was approached by this guy. And this guy was like, yeah, if you launch this token, we can get up to like a $20 million market cap. And then, you can run away with like 5 million or whatever the hell he was pitching to Kanye. And Kanye, like, he's like, yo, come on, man. He actually stood on integrity with that. But then Kanye ended up launching his own token. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, it was the Yeezy token. You know what I'm saying? And you can actually use that token on his website, on Yeezy.com. So, and shout out to Dr. Jamal Montgomery, because Kanye has been in contact with Doc as far as in the past. Let me make that clear about just, understanding blockchain and launching tokens and all that. But unfortunately, when Kanye launched his token, Doc wasn't in on this. And it's unfortunate because Doc is a very intelligent person in Web3 and he's well respected. So, it just baffles me why Kanye would want to partner and align himself with people who don't look like him in this space. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, man. There's some of the most brilliant people I ever met in my life here at ABC. And ABC has brought brilliant people here, such as CJ the Smart Guy, who put Doc onto us. You know what I'm saying? But these are some brilliant people, not to mention Marlon Williams himself, the founder of ABC himself. You know what I'm saying? And our guys from Project Pod, these are some brilliant people. So we tired of being overlooked. So this is what my platform is for, to highlight those who've been building in this space. And we know that we're not going to, just jump on any celebrity pause when they just talk about a token. There's one celebrity I'm going to give a shout out to, real talk. Shout out to Slice. Shout out to our guy Slice. Salute to you for that song, MIT. I've been posting that song, and I've been linking it to the AI Quant. So shout out to AI Quant and shout out to Slice for that song. You know what I'm saying? MIT. I bought some of this token too. He got like a 200K market cap. You know what I'm saying? So just know that I always try to support everybody who's built something at ABC. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the biggest things that we need to highlight is just supporting the builders here. And that's what it's about, man. So shout out to Slice. If y'all haven't heard that song, you know, Waka Flocka is a celebrity that co-signed this platform. Is called Bass Drop, and Slice was one of the first artists to drop on it. And Waka's been talking about this. So Waka has really got a great relationship with bass. So one of these days he's gonna come through these doors, and he's gonna be introduced probably through Slice. Slice probably gonna bring him up here because I'm sure Slice had the conversation with him about ABC. You know what I'm saying? But we don't necessarily need the celebrities, but when they putting in work like Waka is, because his coin, I ain't gonna lie, I bought his coin last year when it dropped because I knew he was in this space, and he actually airdropped a song for everybody who had his token. So he actually understands utility of launching a token. So Blue, you got your hand up. What's your thoughts?
I didn't want to switch off your topic.
Nah, you good. You good.
I was,
We everywhere. You know, we
I was
bouncing
just going
around.
to say that all I would say is be very, very careful about if you invest in that token. You need to have eyes on that to be ready for it to be drained, to be withdrawn, to be rugged. Because Mr. Beast is attached to a lot, and it is confirmed, to a lot of scams in crypto. So I would definitely say I would also look at wallets from CZ to the wallets that Mr. Beast is connected to. That's all that's all I can say. Like,
Nice.
just check that out.
Great point. Great point.
And then ABC, honestly, T.Gold, we need to have as many artists as possible, Waka one of them, so we can educate them, because they are introduced to this space by individuals that are not good. That's all I'm going to say. Like, they're all misleaded. Like, they're all misleaded. So I want to be able to do something where we can bring these guys together, ladies and gentlemen in Atlanta, and really like put them on and get them away from the teams that they're a part of, because they're literally misleading them on how to enter the space. So, I just keep prayers in for Waka, because he got drained when he first learned about this and accidentally put a wallet on Solana, and they just went ham on him. And so, like, people will take advantage of that and say, hey, we can introduce you to crypto and blow it up real big. So I think it would be dope if we could do something where we educate all of our celebrities that are here in Atlanta on, like, really how to use blockchain the best way and how to use ABC instead of, the non-melanin people that are misleading them. So, yeah, I'm going to be quiet.
That's right. Nah, talk about it. Nah, hell, listen, man. This is what this podcast is for, man. We're going to speak the truth. You know what I'm saying? We always going to speak the truth. Truth be told, like she's saying, is people who don't look like us coming to this space trying to introduce us to this space and take advantage of us in this fucking space. They do this shit every time there's a new technology or there's a new industry. They exploit people. You know what I'm saying? Like, celebrities is no different. They taking advantage of, the first people that I heard of in this space, and they all got taken advantage of. This was like during the ICO phase in like 2017. I wasn't even in crypto at this time, so I had to do some research and figure out who was like the first celebrities they reached out to in the culture. DJ Khaled and Floyd Mayweather.
Not surprising.
You see what I'm saying? Like, they didn't go after the more brilliant people in our culture. They just went after people who was just, they attached themselves to brand and looking for that bag. Ain't nothing wrong with these individuals like Khaled and Money Mayweather. Respect to them both, but you see the angle that they approached our culture, and they got taken advantage of back then. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's hard to even trust a celebrity that promotes anything in crypto. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, I give Waka props for just staying down with this space and continue. He actually built something in this space. He got a whole launch pad for artists, on base. And Slice, I'm sure we know Slice. And if you know who Slice Nine is, if you know who this guy is, who I'm talking about, he's from Atlanta, yo. If you know who he is, you know he's very knowledgeable in the space. I ain't gonna talk about his connections and the people that he put on. So your favorite influencer's favorite influencer. I'm gonna just tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Slice put a lot of people on. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes he don't get the credit. And right here and right now, I'm gonna give that boy his flowers, man. You know what I'm saying? Slice, he's the one who been really trying to, you know, educate people, not just entertainment, but just on the influencer side too. And he really been doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I see his likes and I see who's following him. So people respect his handle in this space, man. So and then people like such as Blue and Cass is they are very knowledgeable in the space as women who can network and connect with celebrities and the alike. So Blue, we see we know you putting in work out there, and we definitely appreciate what you bring to this space too, because you're very knowledgeable in it. We need more people who look like us educating people who are in music, entertainment, and sports. All right, so yeah, man, I'm gonna get off my soapbox on that. Cheese, you got any thoughts on this, man?
Uh, Overall, I think I agree with a lot of what you're saying, and looking at like specifically talking towards what Slice is doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of lot of good stuff that he's working on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, I I just agree with I'm on the same page as Blue though. Like, let's lead with education first,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, because like we just don't know at the end of the day, even though they may be doing something great, we don't know where their initial point of entry came from.
Good point.
So out of respect for that, I think I'm in no rush to work with Waka Flocka. You know,
Respectfully.
respectfully, he might be doing great things, but I'm just not in. I'm not in a rush to have Waka Flocka walk through these doors.
Brick Squad.
Now, and if he does, and we can do great stuff together, then power to that. But I think we do so much work, right, that we are not short of opportunity and education
Super facts.
to rely on, like Waka Flocka, right? And I'm not saying that we are either. I'm just saying I'm just providing my perspective on the use of celebrities to help our narrative. I don't necessarily think. I think it should start with education. I think we anything we do with these people would probably start from an educational standpoint, and then maybe go into like some actual projects. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't see us like coming out the gate launching somebody's token without that prior education.
That's right. Good point. Good point, Cheese. Blue, you got your hand up. The floor is yours.
Joe is cooking. I was gonna be quiet, but Joe keeps cooking. I'll say this to Joe's point. There's a lot of individuals here in Atlanta, and not just here in Atlanta, that are celebrities that have been told, hey, that camp you're with is not the right ones. But the thing is, they come with a couple of stacks. And some of these artists haven't seen stacks in a while. And so they get really defensive and they become really loyal because they think that's the only way that they can profit. That's why you saw Nick Cannon and all these other individuals all being come by the same four people.
Same people.
Like,
we need to put a wanted poster for these motherfuckers. Just same way the FBI be having like all of the top criminals and all that. We need to have the top scammers and schemers in this motherfucking space. We need to just plaster out they images, make memes of that shit and all that, and be like, yo, if any of these people ever approach you about launching anything, yo, do a about face. You know what I'm saying? Curve them fast, yo, for real, man. Like, we need to do that, man, because you bring up great points, man. We tired of our people getting taken advantage of, man, for real, man. So, but nah, that was a great point, Blue. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, man. And we got the Bar Chef listening. Shout out to the Bar Chef, man. He is the founder of the Atlanta Blockchain Center. That's where we at live right now, you know. So shout out to the Bar Chef, you know. Shout out to AI Quant, you know. Get your hands on that coin. If you ain't got the coin, at least get you an agent. You know what I'm saying? One of the two. Get you an agent or get the coin. That's AIQ. It's not financial advice. Do your own research and homework. And
Get
matter of fact,
agent for sure.
Blue, you are.
I just got my agent, so you know.
Go ahead and talk.
I'm excited.
I know you're one of the spokespersons for AI Quant. Go ahead and tell the people about AI Quant.
I am in no way representing AI Quant. I am providing this information solely based off of Blue.
Got you.
And with that, I would say AI Quant makes your life so much better. Instead of having to like do a dance and song for the man to ask for money, there's something called AI Quant. And it helps you be able to trade without even knowing how to do it. And it's at a very affordable price right now. I would definitely go grab me one before ETH runs up. So, you know, that's what I would do. And it has a beautiful landing page that takes you through all the steps. And it has classes for you to learn to understand what the heck it's even doing for you. So, yeah, I'll say that.
And you don't even need to go through all the steps anymore. Apparently, I heard that you can launch a quant in under 30 seconds.
Wow, under 30 seconds. And I heard you can copy trade too. You can look at some of these other quants that's been, you know, doing some numbers. You can copy trade. There's a button right there. I was like, okay,
there's
dope.
Copy trade.
Yes, sir. We invited the Bar Chef up. I don't know if he might be preoccupied right now, but we invited him up to the stage so he could possibly get into AI Quant. You know, anything that he want to promote, anything else. You know what I'm saying? But man, there's so much I can say about this gentleman, man. But he believes in all of us. You know what I'm saying? He is the one who told us just build something. You know what I'm saying? And he told us in the middle of the bear market when nobody was paying attention to this shit. And everybody who even started building something has evolved. Whatever they was building then is 10 times as better, or they rebranded and got something brand new. You know, whether it's Liquid Agent with Project Pi Labs, because they rebranded, you know, and they've been kicking ass too. Shout out to them because they have been holding down the cohorts, you know, over the past few cohorts. They've been holding it down. Skylark, you know what I'm saying? Just to see how far I seen Cheese develop his platform. And, you know, and, shout out to Nia too, because you got a proof of wellness via Skylark app if you pulled up to our event. You know what I mean? So just stuff like that, man. Like I said, well, like Cass said earlier, we got to provide the picks and shovels. You know, that was a thing that RC, he stressed as well, too. So we got the Bar Chef. He's up on stage, man. If you got the opportunity, man, just want to say something to the people, man. But we definitely thank you for tapping in, sir.
For sure, man. How you guys doing?
We're
Yo,
great,
what's
man. We're
up?
great, brother. How you doing?
Good, good. I didn't come here to shill. I just came to say what's up, and AI Quan is still. I still see it as something that's in its early days. We've got so we've got a long way to go still, but I think it's promising. It's a very ambitious goal for sure, but it wouldn't be worthwhile pursuing if it wasn't. But certainly appreciate you guys' support, and we're gonna keep building. But to your point, T.Gold, I think you're right. We've been talking about building for the last 3.5 years, and now the time is upon us. And I don't know how much longer this cycle is going to last. There are different schools of thought. Some people think that it's going to end in the next, say 6 months or so, like it has in the past. There are other people who think, there's so many new players and government adoption that the traditional 4-year cycle theory is about to be broken. But we're about to find out for sure. That's one thing. For me, I just want to make sure that I secure as much opportunities, as much capital as possible to make sure that ABC will still be around, even for the next several bear markets. And so I haven't been showing up as much as because it's crunch time. We're whether we're at the last 5 yards or not, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure that I do what I got to do for us overall. And so, it's crunch time, man. We've been talking a lot for 3.5 years. Now we got to put in the work. I mean, we've been putting in work, but this is the game is on right now. So, it's not. You probably will continue to see less of me, at least for the next 3 months or so. I'll certainly try to continue to show up on Thursdays, but it's crunch time, man. We'll be back out running the streets and shaking hands and kissing babies when it's the bear market. But right now, ain't got no time to play. But I appreciate you guys' support. Keep building. Love what you guys are doing, man.
Marlon, man, thank you for those words, man. And if it wasn't for you, man, I don't think, most of us here would be as far as where we're at, in this space, So thank you for the motivation and encouragement, just the resources and everything, man, because you've done a phenomenal job for the community in Atlanta. And, man, we know that you probably gonna go dark for a minute. You're gonna go in dark mode, but your birthday is coming up. I know it's about like a week after mine, so just know, you got some surprises. What I mean? There's a few people that's lining some things up for you right now, man. So just know that we're gonna turn up for your birthday. We have a good time, man. For sure, man. But we definitely appreciate you tapping in, taking the time out, and give us your thoughts, man. Word. Cheese, you want to say anything tomorrow?
No, I mean, I had talked to Marlon a couple days ago, but like you said, I'm very appreciative for what he has done for all of us. And like Marlon and I have had conversations about this, like the time that we're about to, like that we're at right now. And I appreciate the words that he gave me as well, because and to share it with everybody else, you don't want to miss this window.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So definitely, if you're a builder, take some time to ensure that you're getting the resources that you can get to continue building into any potential bear market that could come up, right? Especially since if you have been building for so long, or are you have a great idea that you want to get off the ground and you're dedicated to it, you know, this is key opportune time. So like I appreciate his words as usual.
Yes, sir, man. And we got one last story, but before we talk about this last story, do you want to talk about the pitch competition at the World Coin Store?
Yeah.
You want to talk to the people about that? Go ahead, Cheese.
Yeah, so in October 14th, we'll be hosting at the World Coin HQ here, not the HQ, but the flagship Atlanta space. We'll be hosting the third annual Pitch Fest, and we have some very, very prime judges that are be in the building, right? And we'll have 14, no, it's 12 companies that will be going at it for 25K.
Woohoo! Let's go. Let's get that money, man. Let's get that money.
25K. Let's see if I can name all the companies here. Let's see if I can name all the companies. Let me see if I can name all 12. We got Quiet Stack.
Mm-hmm.
We got Easy Track.
Mm-hmm.
DocuHero.
Mm-hmm.
We got Dow. What's that called? Dow.
We got Endow.
Endow. We got TCK. We got
Coffee and Crypto.
Coffee and Crypto. We got Content Created.
Mm-hmm.
We got
AfroLink.
We got
Be Well Love.
Be Well Love. We got, I said DocuHero already. I said Easy Track. We got Coffee and Crypto. We said that already. We got Mac, which is Smacked.
Mm-hmm.
And one more person out of that, which is Web Ties. And Adobe has her company,
Right, Adobe. Mm-hmm.
which is
I forgot the name of her company. But she deal with co-ops though.
Co-ops, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all 12, I believe. I think I did all 12. I know the people. I mean, I have all their company name downs, but that's the 12 companies right there, and they'll be going head to head. But we'll also have 10 more companies that will be having booths
Mm-hmm.
around the space as well. So in the total, there'll be 12 plus companies, 12 to 22 companies
Mm-hmm.
in the building, right? And this is an opportunity for these companies to showcase their work. The judges will be voting on Skylark.
Dope.
So we're going to be setting up basically an activation panel where they can vote there and people can see the results on screen. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. People are going to get, the judges have been briefed about the companies pitching. So they're going to be able to know like where these companies are coming from, what angles they're, what things that they're solving for, which is great. So, you know, it being at the World Coin Store, I think this week, just to say this, just highlight me playing a role in this.
Mm-hmm.
I plan on going down there this week. I plan on going down to the World Coin Store this week. So I actually would like to borrow your projector.
No doubt.
Because I need to understand whether or not we can project or if we have to bring this TV there because they don't have the best infrastructure.
Right.
So I'm here working with Marlon, working with Tia's sister Tavy, and putting it together.
Dope, man. Yo, big shout out to you, man, for
and you too, because you're getting the tablecloths done as well.
Yeah, man. You know your boy. I do graphic design, man. So I got a couple of businesses at ABC that I'm be helping out, just getting some of their branding done. You know, so that's part of what I do as far as graphic designing, man. You know, branding, man. Branding and marketing is important. So big shout out to everybody in cohort 6 and 7 and all the other founders that's gonna be there. Good luck to everybody. You know, I thought it was gonna be friendly competition, but when it comes to bread, I see a lot of people like, nah, ain't gonna be no friends. Yeah, it's gonna be cutthroat. It's gonna be like, like the NBA. Some of these people are their friends off the court and all of that, but when we on the court, it's game time, so we all gonna be, vying for that 25K. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, good luck to everybody.
Oh yeah,
man.
but guess what?
What's that?
There is also going to be a 10 and 5 grant that night as well.
Oh wow.
So 10 and 5 grant program. I guess I'm gonna call it a program, but or special thing, whatever. 10 lucky people will receive 5K each.
Dope.
No clue who the 10 people are. This will be a surprise, but it's basically prominent community members who have done a lot for the community, and they will be announced and celebrated that night, that evening as well.
Oh man, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal, man. There are several people here who I know have been putting in a lot of work, a lot of time. Some people have been sleeping at ABC. You know what I'm saying? So it's just gonna be just rewarding for the community just to see that. Regardless of who gets it, everybody who does get something is gonna be well deserved. Whoever gets it, because there's been a lot of people who've been putting in work. So shout out to shout out to Starter Labs, shout out to ABC, shout out to Marlon, and all the other judges that's gonna be there. I heard Coinbase. I heard we're gonna have Coinbase out there, man. Somebody representing Coinbase is gonna be one of the judges, man.
Jonathan King.
Jonathan King. Shout out to Jonathan King too, man. Word up. So, yeah, man. Good luck to everybody in cohort 6 and 7 and all the other founders, man. I'm looking forward to that October the 14th. Let's go. All right. So with the last story, we had our session at the bookstore, guys. We was talking about gaming, right? So this is on the heels of this news. I got this token. This Immutable token been going stupid. It went up like 18% over this weekend. So Immutable has launched a dedicated mobile gaming division to tap into the 121 billion mobile gaming market, now larger than the PC and console market combined, as part of its push to make Web3 mainstream. So building on hit titles like Gods Unchained, now that's a dope game, Gods Unchained, Guild of Guardians, and Illuvium, the company plans to merge free-to-play models with blockchain features such as tradable assets and digital ownership. The new unit will invest in studios, simplify blockchain integration for developers, and expand partnerships with publishers and app stores, especially in Asia Pacific. Now, with over 680 games already onboarded in tools like Immutable Chain, Passport, and Play to support developers, this push aims to give players true asset ownership, open trading, and new ways to earn. So, I'm extremely excited about mobile gaming because guess what? We about to have a gaming device, and who knows? Some of these Immutable games, these titles might be on the Solana Play device. So hopefully, the same way you got like Madden, you can play on Xbox or you can play on, PS5. Hopefully, some of these Immutable games will be able to play on different Web3 devices. So I'm looking forward to that. I've been following Immutable for a while. When I saw it go up 18% this weekend, I was like, holy shit. And this was the reason why. So I love to see, Web3 companies innovating and looking at mobile gaming. And I didn't know the mobile gaming was, it makes sense because there's more people with cell phones than gaming devices. But I didn't know it was $121 billion in the mobile gaming industry. So speaking of mobile games, play Pudgy Party if you fuck with the Penguins.
I'll say another thing about mobile gaming. Mm-hmm. Because of mobile gaming, a lot of fun fact is that there's actually a growing number, probably even more women gamers, girl gamers than there are male gamers. Like, because that's a lot of girl gamers are mobile gamers. So like,
good point.
Don't sleep on
the ladies.
Don't sleep on the ladies.
Yeah, man. Ladies love gaming, man. Speaking of ladies, we got two ladies with their hand up. So I don't know if they want to go rock, paper, scissors, but we're going to go with the alphabet. So
Queen goes first.
All right, so we got Tia in blue. So, ladies, the floor is yours. However y'all want to do it. Whoever want to go first.
Lou, you gonna always humble me, but no, T-Go, you said 18% over the weekend. I said, man, this market done humbled us, boy. Only 18%.
I mean, hey, look, man, that's one of my favorite tokens, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be loving when my tokens go crazy, man. Yeah, man, I'll take that any day.
We've been humbled. We've been humbled. But
Yeah.
no, but no. So the average age of a gamer right now is 36 years old. Believe it or not. And just like your actual PC consoles and everything else, like everything is skewing mobile and in terms of like user and utilization. So that number doesn't shock me that it's actually crossed over. And it's good to know for all the builders out there, especially your Campinis and guys like that who are building gaming platforms, Web3 gaming platforms, to really hone in on the narrative and the trend of the market. So that was one thing that I wanted to say. And then the next thing was we all know that gaming is going to really be one of those things that really supersedes or gains adoption, I should say, for Web3, right? We all know that. And I look at gaming adoption, like Gen Z, they're not so focused on, let's say, unless you're like a woo, a young mastermind, you're not so focused on becoming a millionaire right now. A lot of them are just living for the moment.
That's right.
And so gaming and getting into Web3 is going to be super easy for them to use Web3 as adoption versus us. We're using, I think I can speak for myself and a lot of my peers, we look at Web3 as a way to level up because us millennials have been limited as it relates to our opportunities financially versus some of the earlier generations that have come before us in terms of like housing and things like that and being able to have like just affordable access to wealth. So I think we look at we're going to look at our approach to Web3 differently. And mobile gaming is going to be one of those things that just comes naturally for that generation. So that's it.
Good point. Good point. Yeah, I mean these kids are growing up with tablets, man, and cell phones. You know, that's a great point. To a great point. Blue, floor is yours, baby.
Yeah, I was gonna Tia always dropped the mic. I was gonna jump on the pudgies as far as like understanding what they're doing and what that game is, and that you can, if you're a DGen or if you're in the crypto space, you can earn from that game.
That's right.
You can break it down. See, you can tell them maybe have a class on it, but like for those who are like just trying to get into games, there are opportunities to earn. Other side, you don't have to have an ape. So they're desperately trying to get adoption.
Explain to people what the other side is. There's people who may not know or familiar with the other side metaverse.
Oh, my bad. Other side is a metaverse created by the apes. There's a long story behind all that, but long story short, they have like a Fortnite. Let me be respectful. It's like a Fortnite game, and it has access to creating all these different experiences, and you get ApeCoin. And I would take it. I would take ApeCoin as much as I can, and I mean they're throwing out a lot of ApeCoin, not a little bit. So that adoption, and then like you were talking about Hyperliquid, those boys jumped on Solana, and they have Hyperliquid. So that coin is going to move. Not financial advice, just as far as the games go, that's an option. The other side, you don't need their assets to play. And then you have pudgies. You don't need their assets to play.
That's right. That's right. So I'm glad that you mentioned the other side. I think the name of that game is Is it Dookie Dash or something crazy like that?
Not, that was like one of their first apps. Like, I got to give it to the apes. They did have like a mobile app for people to download, and they were getting rewarded financially for it too. But that was like one of their first games.
Okay.
The other side is like their metaverse, and then it's multiple games. So they have like,
Got you.
yeah, it's like shooter games, it's like hunter games. There's games where they can all collaborate together, or
Oh, so they
metaverse stuff.
they have like mini games inside of the other side.
Yeah, they
Got
do.
you. Okay, cool. I just thought it was just one big metaverse, but I'm glad you gave us those details. Definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Now, and I know Tia, when she was up here, she was out actually downloading Pudgy Party, that game that the Pudgy Penguins have released too, and I believe they almost at like 1 million downloads. They probably at 1 million downloads right now because last week I think they were at like 750,000. So that's another game like you mentioned, Blue. Like people can download today, they can play, and they can just play to earn. So, and some of those characters, like the captain character, is going for like $800 right now. And this is just a character that you can earn in this game. So they got rare skins for their characters. So yeah, y'all, take advantage of that. Take advantage of tap to earn games on Telegram. There's a bunch of mini games inside Telegram. So yeah, there's so many ways that you can just passively earn crypto just by doing little games, stuff that you might enjoy or stuff that you can put your friends or family, because especially the older adults, that can be an easy way for them to just earn cash, just doing a tap to earn game, you know what I'm saying, on Telegram. So but yeah, y'all, Blue, go ahead, the floor is yours. Your hand is up again, baby.
I just wanted to say real quick, make sure that you have a hot wallet solely for the games, only enough to make those transactions for those games, and transfer that from another safe wallet to your hot wallet. And yeah, just have multiple wallets and just use a hot wallet for your games and stuff, because you don't want to get drained.
Good point. Good security tip. Use a hot wallet to transfer your funds when you're interacting with these games. That's a good point. I do believe there's a wallet that they built into that Pudgy Party game. I believe they do have a built-in wallet in that game, but that's a good point though. That's a good security tip. Just make sure y'all are being very vigilant about securing your assets in this space, y'all. Now, Cheese, you got any thoughts on this particular story when it comes down to Immutable as far as mobile gaming? Because I know you're a big gamer too. I know you like the racing games and shit.
Yeah, I think I kind of already mentioned around mobile gaming, and when you were talking about that earlier, I agree about Immutable being up there, and as far as being one of the top gaming chains. So as far as like the things that have been said about gaming, I agree with a lot of what was already said. I think the only thing I would only offer differently is I think people are undercutting the value of streaming still. And until we get a game that's really streamable and crypto friendly, it's still going to be a well way off.
That's a good idea.
That's
a good idea.
From catching on, because I've seen like companies are pushed okay, I recently just bought Sonic Cross Worlds, which is the rival Sega's rival game that just came out on Friday to rival Mario Kart.
So that's on the PS5?
On PS5, it's on Xbox, it's on Switch.
Too? Oh, okay.
But it's on PC, Switch. It's on Steam specifically.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's on all these platforms, Steam specifically though, because that's the gateway to streaming. Like not Steam specifically, but PC gaming specifically.
Gotcha.
Like you can stream people. You can talk about streaming on your PS5 and your Xbox, but it's not as basic. It's not as clean cut as if you're streaming on your PC.
Gotcha.
Right, and the game like there's an account called Twitch Rivals.
Okay.
On Twitch, and they are like one of the most promoted Twitch channels, and they stream specific games, right? They stream, they stream specific games like Fortnite and other highly popular games.
Okay.
Right, so these channels become the discovery for these games.
That's a good point.
At the end of the day. So, I think the value of mobile gaming has been great because of it being on the go, and they leverage the business model of microtransactions a lot more than PC games do, and you still gotta you still want to play the game on the go. But when it comes to like I think the only game that has come close is whatchamacallit, Off the Grid, because you can stream that, right? So
you can stream off the grid?
Yeah, you can stream off the grid because you can play on PC.
That's lit.
So I've seen Ninja, he was streaming, playing it. But my point is like I'm only talking about. I'm not talking about Immutable. I'm talking about this space as a whole.
Right. Just
like
to have streaming capabilities.
Adoption will come from a game that is probably going to be heavily debuted and played on Twitch.
Good point, Cheese. So I don't know, man. We got guys like Levi with Campaigny. That's his Web3 game, man. Maybe he should look into incorporating streaming. That's a great idea.
Well, he's not streaming, but he's on another channel. So the other one of the other highest channels for game discovery is Google.
Oh, right, because he
is YouTube.
That's right.
YouTube and any social media platforms where they just post, auto AIs playing the game. So because he has basically a self-playing game, he can just go in the game at any moment in time and hit record
on YouTube
and live stream it, or take a clip out of what he recorded and then just put that up as content.
Gotcha.
So I think he's done a great job in finding the distribution channel. But I think for the wider audience, anybody else building should be looking at like stuff like what he did, or should be looking at getting exposure through Twitch.
All right, so man, that means the TCK podcast needs to get a Twitch account. That's another way that we can just have another channel. We already multi-stream, so shout out to everybody on Instagram, shout out to everybody on YouTube tapping in. Obviously, shout out to everybody on X. But that's a great idea. Man. I can definitely see that because there's kids who just sit back and watch other people play games that they don't even own. So that's just crazy to me. That's a whole nother conversation. But Blue, go ahead. The floor is yours.
I was going to say, Cheese, to your point, as far as streaming is concerned, if we're not just solely talking about mobile, but also there are people who are streaming their play on Pudgy Penguins from their phone, but they also have now a computer version, PC version of it. And other side is streaming, and their numbers are insane. They're on X, and there are some gamers on Facebook that get like 100K views.
Wow.
And then Avalanche, even though I think Luca's team is being stretched thin, they also have streaming. They were paying people. They were kind of rivaling Twitch at one point.
Wow.
You also have Pump Fund, but I don't believe in that structure. But like, you have streaming that's going to be heavily released for people, and people are getting paid with streaming. They're even trying to convince some of the top streamers to go to Pump Fund. Again, we need education. So,
nah, Blue, that's a great
our
point.
top streamers are about to go there. So, you know.
You said who that? Who you broke up? Repeat that one more time, Blue. You broke up. You said somebody was about to go where?
I said you had one of the top streamers about to go to Pump Fund, which is Kai.
Oh, man.
And there's a couple others, you know, that they're about to announce. But
that'd be crazy. If Kai yeah, he got to be educated. He got to be surrounded by the right people, because they will definitely take advantage of him, like you said.
Yeah, he shouldn't be associated with Pump Fund, but, you know, that's a whole nother conversation in itself. But, you know.
And shout out to Kai for getting the first 1 million subscribers on Twitch. He just did that over the weekend. Like, it went stupid. So, shout out to Kai. That boy been killing it with Mafia-thon and everything else, man. Like, crushing it. Man, but Blue, that was a great point. Great commentary. Cheese. Great commentary. Cash, I know she stepped off. NFTia, great commentary. I appreciate everybody's thoughts today. Bar Chef, I know he just stepped down. We appreciate his thoughts and commentary. Man, it's been another one, man. It's been a dope pod, dope episode, man. Shout out to everybody who pulled up to our event on Friday night. That was lit. You know what I'm saying? Just know that at the end of October is my birthday, so we're going to have a Halloween theme event. You know what I mean? So y'all going to be able to dress up as your favorite characters or whatever you want. You know what I mean? Don't be too cool for school, man. I don't want people not dressing up when we throw this event, because we got a bookstore gallery event, not to mention on the 26th. Can I say it, Blue? At the bookstore gallery, we still doing the spades tournament?
Yes, we are.
All right, so on the 26th at the bookstore gallery, we got a spades tournament. All right. So what day is that, Blue? Is that a Friday or a Saturday?
That's a Sunday.
Oh, that's a Sunday. Okay, that's a Sunday. So after the pod, we gonna be pulling up there. Fuck around. We might be partying from the bookstore gallery that day. Just depends. But we definitely gonna be there for that. So that means my birthday is gonna fall on a Tuesday. Nah, man, we gotta turn up that weekend. Matter of fact, yeah, we gonna have that event that weekend. We gonna see what the bookstore gallery is doing. We gotta check out their schedule, so we can do something like on Friday. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have a Halloween theme / Web3 mixer, so people can come dressed up and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't want my people to be too cool for school and just wear regular clothes, man. Like, nah, get a costume, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know who I was? Couple of years ago, nigga, people thought I was Prince, but I bought the outfit from Coming to America, Sexual Chocolate. You know what I'm saying? And because I'm light skinned, everybody thought I was Prince, and I did not pull that off right. Everybody, I was getting hit with all this other shit, the Prince shit. I got hit with the Prince shit, yo. That shit was crazy. I'm just thinking, I'm like, yo, and then a couple people thought I was Rick James. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be whoever you think I am. I could be Prince, I could be Rick James, I could be Randy Watson from motherfucking Coming to America, man. All I know is, hey, if I can do it, you know what I'm saying, I feel like everybody else can do it, because, you know what I mean, y'all know I like to get fresh and stay Web3 wavy. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of being wavy, our guy Cheese, you know, he got the Clip shirt on. I got the Clips box set. We actually got the same shirt, so I'm glad I ain't wear mine today. But it's dope that you repping the Clips with the cause design. So we culture over here, man. You know what I'm saying? Sir. So, man, I appreciate everybody's thoughts today. I appreciate everybody tapping in. And, man, this is how I know we had a live set, man, because both my devices is going dead, my cell phone and my iPad. But, man, just know we've been cooking today. I appreciate everybody again on YouTube and Instagram. I appreciate y'all checking in. And everybody, of course, on X. Shout out to Easy Money Esquire. Shout out to BY. Shout out to Sharita. A1 Digital, you know what I'm saying? Getting kids and adults right with that book, the activity books, super fly. Big up to Cas Vegas, holding down ABC in Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? So she's, man, phenomenal woman, man. So check out some of the video clips that I've been posting on IG so y'all can see the interview. And matter of fact, go to our YouTube, man. Go check out some of the older videos, man. You know, some great interviews, man. Shout out to our guy B Wise. All right. Shout out to Lightning Forge Games. Shout out to them for tapping in. Shout out to NFTia. My guy Just Cheeze. Again, everybody, man. Everybody, thank y'all, man. We appreciate y'all time. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all chose to be right here today getting some Web3 education and culture. You heard? So I'm your boy T.Gold. This is TCK Web3 News Roundtable, episode number 85. Yo, being that you got the Clip shirt on, we're gonna go out with a Clips joint. Cheese, I'm gonna let you choose a song off that Clips album, man. You know what I'm saying? Let God sort them out. So what song you wanna go with, man, on the outro, man?
Let's see. We're gonna have to go.
Because Clips, you know that
That's
Grammy, to me, I think they could get the Grammy of the year for the best hip hop album. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna go to this album right quick. We gonna choose.
I'm gonna go with EBITDA. Since we're on our financial shit, let's go with EBITDA.
Okay. Oh, it's like drop top music right here. Let's go. Thank y'all for listening, y'all.
Running out of ace. Went from heaters up to fevers up. Bitches in the back, the seat is up.